I hadn't even put the thing on.
But
so
I think if he doesn't get there, Diaw's got a one-on-one header, but the save's much better.
Yeah, it does just about enough. Going
back to your point about him needing confidence boosters, that being one of them.
Yeah, exactly that. You could see almost before the ball hadn't even got out of play and he was punching the air in, I don't want to say excitement, but sort of he was very happy with the save that he made. Big moments at the start of the season can change everything. One result isn't the sort of thing that can change everything at this stage of the season, but for players starting off, it's massive as Phillips has passed to Cooper, very nearly sold his captain short. Now Pack trying to roll it across the right hand side. Harrison though able to nip in ahead of Jack Hunt, and then the ball forward from Douglas will find Click. Lovely little ball into Harrison, who's got a bit of room to run into here inside the Bristol City half. Now 25 yards from goal, trying to check inside onto his right foot, rolls it into Hernandez, edge of the D. Hernandez will find Forshaw, whose shot is just wide of Bentley's left hand post. The goalkeeper scrambling to get across. It didn't look far wide at all from Forshaw, who had so much time. Bristol City caught chasing shadows trying to get back in time, and Forshaw hits it first time but hits it just wide.
Oh, it's a whisker wide. It's a really good move from Leeds. It seemingly every time they were going round they were just losing more and more momentum, but they just kept it going. Every time you thought it was over they just kept ticking along. And it's desperately close. That's the sort of chance you feel, though, they need to be netting. You know, that's the sort of move where you carve them open, you've got a free shot from the edge of the box. Should you be hitting the target? I think if Adam Forshaw hits that 25 times in training, he does that most, 90% of the time. He was just trying to be really cute, wasn't he? Would you rather see it go wide like that if he's trying to score? I don't mind it. But rather, say if he tapped it into Bentley's hands, I wouldn't be that, infused by that if I was a Leeds player. But it's unlucky, really.
It's perhaps Leeds' problem last season was taking and converting their chances. They created plenty, but finding the back of the net on the big occasion was something that eluded the Whites far too often, as Click did well to get away from Pack initially, goes down under the challenge. It looked like a decent challenge from the Bristol City man as we're midway through the final minute of this first half, but Click definitely felt it.
I don't know whether he caught the stray studs after the end. I don't think there was anything wrong with the tackle.
No, I've not seen him yet back on our pictures, as White does well to get across and knock the ball out. Click is still down here. I'm not sure whether the referee is going to allow the physio to come on. Click seems to be very slowly getting up to his feet. As we see a replay, does well initially to get away from Pack, and then Pack slides in, and it just looked a bit awkward more than anything from Click. Didn't look like there was...
Well, it's the right ankle's twisted underneath as Pack, so Pack's won the ball. It's just what happens when you have a player sliding in and a player trying to, as he's gone to put his foot down to ride it, Pack's momentum's taken the ankle with it. So it's going to be sore. He's definitely not diving or anything like that. He's not trying to win a free kick. He's in a bit of pain. He hasn't complained about the tackle. It's just a good old battle, and unfortunately it came off worse.
2 minutes added on then at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 1. We are 30 seconds into it. It's going to be Josh Brownhill to take this throw in. It's about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. On this near left-hand side. Does have a long throw on him, does Brownhill. Winds up to it, in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Cooper. Brownhill then gets there first, but Leeds will hook it away with Click for Bamford to try and chase. Up against Mort. Bamford does really well. Good strength initially to get himself in front, and then Mort all over him. Bamford claiming all sorts. Seemed to get stood on, had his shirt pulled, everything. The referee unmoved, and Leeds very quick to move and take the throw in as they look to try and finish this half on the ascendancy. They lead by a goal to 0. We're into the final minute of the 2 added on. Lovely ball from White out towards the left hand side for Douglas. Just about getting away from De Silva, goes into the area himself here. Hernandez on his left foot gets the shot off, deflects straight back to him, rolls it out to Harrison out on the left. Harrison tries to pull it back for Forshaw. Pack able to get there and hook it away, and now maybe a chance for Bristol City to counter-attack. Palmer trying to get on the end of Vyman's lofted ball, but the
pointless pass. Yeah,
the attention of White did just about enough, but Leeds perhaps guilty of trying to overplay it in and around the penalty area. It was a good ball from Hernandez out to Harrison. I'm surprised Harrison didn't try and step in and perhaps strike it first time. As the referee blows for half time then, So it's Leeds United who lead at Ashton Gate. It's Bristol City 0, Leeds United 1.
Half-time, Bristol City leading in terms of the first 5 minutes of momentum, but the rest of the game has all been Leeds. They've been totally dominating, and they lead on the score sheet by a single goal to nil. The goal from Pablo Hernandez, an absolute peach of an effort in the 27th minute. Top corner, Bentley had no chance. Bamford shot wide, Forshaw had a chance. Hernandez and...
Right, half-time between Leeds and Bristol City is 0-0. No, not 1-0 to Leeds, sorry. Hernandez with the goal. If you are a Bristol City or Leeds fan, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we'll be doing more live commentaries for your team. I think we're doing Salford versus Leeds in the EFL Cup, and I'm sure I'll do another Bristol City stream in the next month or two. But sorry for not being able to do it in the first half. I was doing a live commentary for Man City Liverpool, and because it went to penalties it took 10 minutes longer. But looking at the stats for this game, Leeds dominating Bristol City so far. 65% possession, 7 shots to Bristol City's 3. Both having 2 shots on target, so Bristol City making their shots on target at least. 3 corners for Leeds, 0 for Bristol City, and 6 fouls. So it looks like Leeds are the better team at the moment. What this will do to the table, Leeds will go 9th behind every other team that won 1-0 yesterday, but they'll go ahead of Millwall on alphabetical order. So if they score a second, they'll go up to first. But if Bristol City score 1, then it'll change. But that's what it's looking like at the moment. Bristol City, if they lose 1-0, they'll go down to 21st. But it is only the first day of the first week of the season, so it doesn't really matter about the score. Right, so my door went off and my dog's just going quite mad, so I had to mute the mic a bit. So if you hear my dog in the background, just apologies for that. But who do you support? I support Man City. Quite a few Leeds fans in here. We've got Yee Go on then, and Josh Taylor, I'm pretty sure. Well, we have at least 3 Leeds fans, so I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. I'm just going to call him Puss. Nah, that sounds a bit weird. What should I call you? I don't know what to call you because your name's quite long. Didn't Man City just win? Yeah, they won on penalties 5-4 against Liverpool. It was 1-0 at full time and they won on penalties. Wijnaldum missing his penalty. And everyone else scored. Just because we didn't get a chance to do any of this earlier, we're going to do it now. So these are the 2 lineups at the moment. We're Bentley in goal, Hunt, Callas, Moore, De Silva, Pack, Brownhill, Ryman, Palmer, Udauda and Diedu. And on the bench we have Baker, Taylor, that goalkeeper I believe he is. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. Eliasson, Patterson, Rowe and Wallacott. I changed my... okay then. So I'm assuming his name's Jake then, unless he just made some random name. But anyway, we have 17 people in the stream. It's at the moment half time, but as soon as the game resumes, I'll put the commentary on. So if you want to leave the stream, just come back in like 10 minutes when the second half begins, and I'll be putting on the commentary. And if you are new, subscribe to the channel, because I will be doing loads more Leeds and Bristol City live commentaries. I'll be doing Leeds v Salford in the EFL Cup once that comes around, and then I'll probably do a Bristol City stream soon. But anyway, the Leeds lineup, they have Casilla in goal, Dallas, White, Cooper, Douglas, Phillips, Hernandez, Forshaw, Klitsch, Harrison and Bamford. Hopefully Helter Costa comes on off the bench. He did alright for Wolves when he did play, and he is a decent player, so hopefully he comes on. There was a couple Leeds fans that said Alioski should be playing, so hopefully for you guys he comes on in the second half if you do want him there. But it depends how the players have played. I don't actually know, because I only started this stream 5 minutes before half time. So I'm not actually too sure how they play. Judging by the stats though, it looks like they did alright. I'm going to look at the app quickly on my phone to see what the rating, if they have player ratings for the first half. Don't know if they will. But we have 22 people here. I'm going to call you George. I don't know how you pronounce it, but the score currently is 1-0 to Leeds. Hernandez with the goal 26 minutes in. The second half will be starting soon, hopefully. How long ago was half time? Half time was around 6 minutes ago, so the second half should be starting in around 10 minutes. So if you can either leave and join back in 10 minutes, or just stay in the stream, I guess. The ratings so far, the worst is Jack Harrison with a 6 according to this app. Calvin Phillips has a 6.4. Dallas has a 6.2, so maybe Alioski can come on for him. Don't know how bad he's playing though. Just because the rating's bad, it could be just because everyone else on the team is playing really good compared to him. Or maybe Bristol City haven't come down that side enough to rate him that great. But Pablo Hernandez currently man of the match with a 7.9. He scored the goal, so he's doing very well. So maybe Costa will go on up top for Bamford, or maybe... Don't know if Pablo Hernandez can play left mid or Costa can play left mid. Maybe they'll switch that around. But I do want to see Costa play at some point, see how he does in the Championship. How much people we got on the stream now? We got 16, so a few people left. Hopefully they join back. But as for Bristol City's rating, their best player so far looks like it's Casey Palmer with a 6.9. Pack has a 6.9 rating as well. Their worst player looks to be Bentley in goal, or oh no, it's O'Dowda with a 6.2. Bentley has a 6.3, and Jack Hunt's doing alright with a 6.8. Then we've got Brownhill and Vyman on 6.7 ratings. The formation, I believe, is a 4-2-3-1 for Bristol City. And for Leeds, it's a 4-1-4-1 as well. So Leeds definitely the best side, but some players on Bristol City side's doing alright. But best players at the moment, Pablo Hernandez is doing very well. Then Forshaw and Casilla are doing alright according to this app I'm using. But anyway, we've got like 5 minutes second half now. Not sure what to do. Not gonna go on that. We're gonna go on BBC Sport. We'll look at the top scorers. So at the moment, nobody scored 2 goals. So everyone that scored a goal is on that top scorers thing. Have you seen this clearance, by the way? What a clearance from Walker. Let's just watch this. So Salah's through, cuts inside, good block from Stones, and it brilliant clearance from Walker. I just want to watch that because that was such good clearance. Just reminded me of John Stones' clearance from January in the exact same fixture. Okay, what's happening in every other league? So what other games? We got Scottish Prem, Rangers winning 2-1 against Kilmarnock. They scored a 91st minute winner. And apparently Aberdeen scored a late winner or something. 3-2, that was a decent game. 85th minute. Right, so it was 1-0 and then Hearts made it 2-1. Then a red card for Hickey, then Cosgrove scored the pen, and then 5 minutes later Hedges scoring. But that's irrelevant because we're focusing on Leeds versus Bristol City. The second half is not starting just yet. We've got about 3 minutes. So if you have any questions and you want to ask me, just comment in the chat. Philip, come on Leeds, anyone supports Leeds? There is quite a few people that supports Leeds in this. We got Josh Taylor, Jake Mooney and Yi go on then. All three of them support Leeds. I don't support Leeds or Bristol City. I'm just a neutral fan for this game. So I don't really care who wins. I just want to see who gets promoted and stuff. But Simpan, welcome to the stream. Let's see how much subs we're on. Right, we just gone up a sub, so thank you to whoever just subscribed. Our goal is 1,300 subscribers by the end of August, so if you could help me reach that would be great. The second half is not underway yet. Hopefully it is any minute now. I hope Leeds get back in the Prem. I hope Leeds get back in the Prem as well. Them Sunderland, hope they get back in the Championship and do well in there. Because Leeds belong in the Premier League. Aston Villa belong in the Premier League. And stuff, so hopefully these teams that should be in the Premier League and used to be in the Premier League come back. I think Leeds will come third, go in the playoffs, beat either Nottingham Forest or West Brom in the semi-final, and then in the final they'll play Brentford, and then I don't know if they'll win or lose. I don't know. It depends who they sign in January, if they actually reach there. But the two teams that I think will finish above them are Cardiff and Fulham, both lost against Barnsley and Wigan, who I put to finish in the relegation zone. So I don't know what's going to happen, but still half time. If Sunderland gets to playoff again and lose, I'm done. I don't know, they drew 1-0 to Oxford yesterday. Don't know who they've got next game, but I don't see much people challenging them this year in League One, to be honest. Let's just look at the table. The only couple teams that could challenge them are teams like Portsmouth, but they lost loads of their good players and lost to Shrewsbury yesterday. Like Clark left, Lowe left, so a few decent players from them left. To be honest, I don't see much of these teams challenging them. Maybe Ipswich or something, or Blackpool, but we'll have to wait and see. Are they playing Ipswich away next game? Let's find out, because if they are, that's going to be a good game. Both of them teams are probably predicted to finish high up. Yeah, they are. 3 o'clock. That's going to be a decent game. They got Portsmouth 4th game. That's a lunchtime kickoff, so maybe that could be a live commentary. So if there's any Sunderland fans in there, or Portsmouth, that could be a game we do live commentary for. Second half still not starting. I'm just gonna refresh this website just in case. Nope, according to this website it's half time still. I thought it would have started already, but I guess not. Right, here we go. This is the game we're focusing on. How much people we got in here? We've got 30 people in here. The second half should be starting any minute now. And it actually has just started, so I'm gonna put the commentary on now. And if you are new, subscribe to the channel. And one last question: imagine Newcastle to the Championship and Sunderland. I think Newcastle finished like 17th this year. Alright, let me put the commentary back on.
And this drills it down the line. There is Forshaw once more. He's going to spin and turn and try and go across. So it's a really ambitious move from Forshaw, because he looks a bit silly now because he just played it to absolutely nobody in the Leeds shirt. But you probably thought there should have been somebody there. Coincidentally, it was probably going to be him that would have been there in the midfield role as Calvin Phillips comes across to mop up possession. Here is Matthias Klick, and now he gets his head down. That should be a yellow card. Pulled to the floor by Marlon Pack. It was well and well away, and yes, the referee, good officiating, not listening to Pack's claims. Leeds were on the air attack then.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Klick just turned away. Pack did what he needed to. Klick needs to be careful. As he fell, he sort of spun. Did he kick it?
I think he's definitely kicked out there.
He's kicked out, and he did similar things last year, and you cannot do that. He got punished last year. He should know better by now. You know, there were a couple of times last season he rode his luck where the referee didn't quite see it, but he needs to be careful, does Klick, because it will come back and bite him.
We'll get a bit of a rep, you see, because then when he gets a rep, someone will target him.
Yeah.
He'll lose his head a little bit. So he goes down the right hand side here, tries to keep it in.
I think that's what teams did last year, is they tried to wind him up. They knew if anybody was going to nibble, it was going to be Matthias Klick.
He had a dig this week at Bristol City, because of course they don't seem to get on these players, because there was an incident with Gaetano Berardi where he got sent off for what they claimed was I think it was a headbutt or a punch, and Lee Johnson said in the press afterwards that he broke his nose, and Leeds' players were adamant that had never happened, and then when it came to the reverse fixture, he said, oh yeah, that he never broke his nose, I just made that up. And that didn't go down well with Leeds' players, as Adam Forshaw's flown in here to try and win the ball. He's dived over it, he's going to get a card, and I can see the reason why there from the official, because it's just a little bit reckless and things are getting out of hand a little bit from the earlier call. I do feel sorry though for Forshaw, because he's gone for the ball, he's flying in, he's determined to go get it. He's just missed it. Yeah,
I think he catches the man first. He does then hook his foot round the balls, but regardless, he flies in, he jumps into it. Was he out of control? No. Was it malicious? No. But did he lunge in? Yes. And did he catch the man first? Yes. I think a yellow card is the correct decision there from the referee.
Yeah, but Matthias Klick in the build-up saying that Bristol City only had one shot on target against them in 2 matches. So if that's the case, they'll probably struggle again. It was just a little needless dig, and he has got a bit of a reputation now. He's been a bit of a wind-up merchant. There is other words to describe it as well, but I can't say them on air. As the ball comes forward, Bristol City are still attacking. It's a good spell from them this. The ball comes forward, Casilla brings it under control. A bit of a heavy throw out to Hernandez, who falls over the ball. That's a good tackle from Forshaw, who's not going to be able to keep it in play. But with these two holding midfielders now on yellow cards, we could have to see maybe a change or two from the bench. Marlon Pack is the defensive shield alongside Brownhill. Big ball forward, out comes Casilla. Good hands from the big Spaniard. He's going to go route one. Who's gone for that? Must be Bamford. Bamford's got the goal side of the defender. Now can Bamford get to the ball? He's going to try and wrestle away from Callas. And Taylor Moore's come across. Bamford gets enough of a hold on the play. Now he needs to get back into the box. I think he's done really well, Rashid Bamford. But Callas has stayed down from the incident. This is going to be frustrating for Leeds because they're in a good spot. But it's a head injury. The idea was asking for an elbow. This is what I mean about the two teams. There's a lot of needle there.
There is, and a lot of it's unnecessary. Now, Bamford does swing his arm back. Is he swinging to elbow Callas deliberately in the face? No, he gets offset slightly to his left. He gets a push in the back on his left hand side, and then as he goes to regain his balance, I think he just puts his arm back. I don't think it's a physical swing back to try and catch Callas. Regardless, he does need to be careful having his arms at that sort of height, but I think it's just trying to retain his balance rather than anything. But Jeju going across the referee and saying there's an elbow. There is an elbow, but I don't think he's gone out there to try and take Callas out.
No, it's one of those where I think if your team gets punished for that, you go ballistic.
Yeah.
And you're probably stretching if you want him punished if you're the opposite team. But as you say, you just need to be a little bit careful, because now a few players have seen that. They're probably going to be saying, right, every time he jumps up for the header, then it'll be him that does it. Fewest points dropped when ahead last season. Leeds were the best with 8. Bolton with 9. Incredible. Relegated.
They can't have been ahead very often then, I think.
That's just amazing. I think Jack's hit a nail on the head 3 times. That's it. Only ahead 3 times. As Callas is making his way off, he's good to go, I think. Him and Bamford have already had a bit of a high five. Now, Bristol City, a bit of a debate here, because Jack Harrison was on the edge of the Leeds box. The referee is saying to Leeds' players what to do here. Now, this is a harsh one for Leeds because it's a head injury, and that's the most important thing, that the Bristol player's not injured. But Leeds should get the ball back. That's the thing for me. I think Harrison might have said that to Hunt. So Leeds will be allowed to just restart the move from the same position, but all of Bristol's players are in defence, which seems fair enough. You're going to get a second take of things. Nobody in a Bristol shirt complained. It's there. Here's Hernandez. It's to Dallas. Dallas is going to swing the cross in, takes a deflection, headed away by Environment, on into Phillips with Click, and Click is going to be given time to turn and pick a pass to Dallas. Dallas to the right for Hernandez, the goal scorer. Hernandez is going to run towards goal now. He has to play it through a really impossible gap for Forshaw. Or should I say it's impossible for most, but the way Hernandez has played today, he probably have the confidence that he can get there as Leeds win the ball back. He's been too slow though. He tries to take Palmer down. Hernandez is going to try and take him definitely down, but misses. Click does the same. Leeds under pressure here. It's across to Weimann, across the face of goal to Diadio. White comes across the block. It's really good work from Ben White, but Leeds guilty of just trying to be too clever in the midfield with Click. Palmer would overrun it. They had the advantage, but then Bristol City rolled up their sleeves and said, well, let's power through midfield and win it back. And now they're on the attack with O'Dowda. He's got Dallas to beat. O'Dowda drops the shoulder, tries to turn inside again. Can he find a way through? He's going to be going the wrong way though. He does go all the way the wrong way this time to Pack. Pack needs to go back as well. Leeds have regrouped.
Good defending in the end from Leeds, just holding the shape and making it difficult for Bristol City to go through, but they can't allow Casey Palmer to get his head down as he tries to thread the ball through to Weimann, but it runs into Casilla. But Casey Palmer, if anybody for Bristol City has got the ability to get the head down on the ball and drive through, he is it. He is their creative magnet, as it were, just in the middle of that front four. Hernandez tried to fly in and take him out. I think in a way he's had his blushes spared, because if he had done it, would have been a yellow card, a needless one as well. Leeds, I think, just need to settle a little bit. They're committing quite a few men forward, and they need to be careful not to be caught.
Yeah, Harrison drilled the ball across. Oh, Bamford, it just can't get to him. Did it take a touch off somebody? I wonder if the keeper Bentley's got something on that, because Bamford looked set, and then all of a sudden it flew past him. Classy from Ben White again. A little turn to get away. Then he goes back to Cooper. Really good work from Ben White. Was under pressure from Diadio. As now the ball's going to be floated out to the left, just too much for Harrison. I'm going to probably get a replay of that Harrison cross, because it fizzed in. For some reason, Bamford was put off by something at the near post.
It looked like it might have been the defender. I think Callas was the man stood just the near side of Bamford. Seemed to get the slightest touch on it just to knock it away from him. As the referee is, I think the referee's brandished a yellow card. I'm not sure whether it's for. We seem to see Phillips. I was talking about Hernandez perhaps, because he tried to wipe out Palmer. Not sure exactly who it's been given to. It might have been Hernandez. So Leeds will just regroup down this left hand side.
Yeah, so here's Harrison being backed into a corner, but Phillips is there. Phillips gets smashed by Palmer. Palmer referee's going to give a free kick. He's card happy at the minute, the ref, but I think he has to do this because they're starting to take the matters into their own hands, the players. There's no need for that on Calvin Phillips.
Now, Casey Palmer, his immediate reaction was to say to the referee, you didn't see it, and I think he's right. I don't think the referee has seen that. The referee initially didn't want to give the foul. He had his back turned as Phillips went down. And I think maybe the fourth official is the person who said to him, look, that's a foul, you need to give a yellow card. So I understand Casey Palmer's frustration there, but Leeds, there's definitely a bit of needle in this game, as you said, Tom. Both sides just rattling each other, making it difficult, trying to draw fouls and get the opposition into the book.
Start the second half, it's still Bristol City 0, Leeds United 1, but the game started to get a bit more aggressive in parts. Pablo Hernandez was the one that's just been booked recently for trying to take out Casey Palmer before missing. Matthias Klick challenged with Marlon Park. Calvin Phillips has been booked. Casey Palmer's been booked for a foul on Calvin Phillips. Aaron Forshaw's been booked. So it just all got a bit messy. In terms of the chances, Patrick Bamford was the one that's come closest to being played in, but a Harrison cross took a deflection, so the former Middlesbrough striker couldn't turn it goalwards. But since then, the action's pretty much dried up. It's got to try and calm down this game because, of course, cards could be aplenty. It could be a case of players being sent to the stands.
There's Jeju's little flick over the top, one back by Phillips. Now Hernandez will try and spin inside his own half, but gives it away. Jeju's little through ball just picked up by Ben White, to calm as you like, just rolls it out, and then Phillips with a lovely ball finds space for Forshaw. Now Klick into Harrison on this left hand side, looking to cut infield onto his right foot. No real option around him. Finds Klick, the overlapping run from Douglas, who clips a decent ball in towards the back post, headed away. It'll fall to Phillips, and Leeds well and truly in the ascendancy. Hernandez looking to get away, gets to the byline, pulls it back for Bamford, who's header into the back of the net. Doubles Leeds United's lead. Hernandez the provider this time. Bamford with the finish. Leeds 2-0.
A brilliant move from Pablo Hernandez, and Patrick Bamford has put Leeds 2-0 up in front of their travelling fans as Hernandez came down the right hand side. The original cross came from Douglas. O'Dowda flicked it on. Phillips played it to Hernandez, who decided to make it even harder for himself. He kicked it round O'Dowda. He then tried to drill towards goal. He's picked out Patrick Bamford with an absolute peach of a cross, and he's just done all the hard work as Hernandez. He's given Bamford the easiest tap in, and he's delivered with a header at the near post. Leeds in total control, 2-0.
It's superb movement from Bamford there. Initially he's sort of in the middle of the 6-yard box, sees the opportunity, breaks towards the near post. Taylor Moore just doesn't cover him at all, and it's a powerful header from Bamford. His third goal in 5 career appearances against Bristol City, and a good header as well. No chance for the goalkeeper in that position as Hernandez pulls that ball back. It's all about the movement of the forward. It's how the forward can get themselves into that position and find the back of the net. That's exactly what Bamford has done, and all of a sudden Leeds have a 2-goal on top, and if they weren't comfortable before, they will be now. But modern day football seems to dictate that the third goal in matches is the most important. You either break away and you're 3-0 up, or all of a sudden it's game on. Do you feel, Tom, that Leeds will now go and try and get that third, kill this game off, something that perhaps they struggled to do last season?
Yeah, I mean, it's great for Bamford, isn't it, as well, because the pressure's been on him in pre-season, Jack. So if he's if he's the main man and he gets the early goal, he'll settle his nerves down really well. If he can get a second, pretty much can't ask for a more perfect day, as Harrison goes for goal but fires into the stands. But yeah, if you'd have said to a Leeds fan before the game, what would you want? A clean sheet and a Bamford goal would have been absolutely perfect.
It's just been a wonderful performance so far from Leeds, on top in terms of possession, now on top in terms of goals, and Pablo Hernandez just picking up where he left off.
Ball headed up into the air by Pack. Dallas is going to bring it under control before he hooks it away. Bamford's going to try and keep it. He tries to wrestle with Callas. Callas gets the right side of him, but Bamford picks up the pieces. Now can he go to Forshaw? He decides against it. Click won't though. Click goes to Forshaw to try and stretch Bristol City, but he's on his own pretty much. He goes down the line towards Click. He needs bodies. He's going to drill it across as he turns. Now he lays it off to Forshaw. Harrison's pulling. Forshaw strikes. It's wide of the post. Jack Harrison was an option. Douglas was an option. But for the second time in this game, Adam Forshaw's fired wide.
Hey, I don't really have a problem with that. Forshaw does well, brings it down. At the end, it was a move that was made initially by Bamford, who did well to hold the ball up. Click and Forshaw then between them take over, and Forshaw in the end I think just had a rush of blood and thought, you know what, why not? And in the end it's wide of the mark. But it's so positive from Leeds. I think Forshaw in that position last season perhaps would have passed it. They could have been guilty of overplaying it. We saw in the first half Harrison perhaps overplaying it. Nothing wrong with trying to get a shot off and cause the keeper problems. You're 2-0 up, half an hour to go. Try and have a dig, try and get yourself that third, and that's what Leeds are doing as they come forward again.
Yeah, Douglas into Phillips. Back to Douglas, who's going to try and pick the pass down the line to Harrison. Harrison goes to Forshaw, works the 1-2, Leeds are in again. Harrison, can he pick out the cross? Good defending from Jack Hunt. Never gave up. Put his head down and tried to stop Harrison. I think he's annoyed at himself. Probably did he think he should have been sharper. I just think it's really tenacious play from Hunt. He has to take it. He has to look, does Harrison. He has to have a look. He can't play it blindly. The only downside is, the only option he's got is Bamford, who's in the path of the pass is Hunt. If he goes across the face of goal, there's nobody there, but it gets there. I think he's been a bit harsh on himself. We'll wait for this. Alioski's having a word with Phillips. Phillips puts his arm aloft, takes the pass towards the near post, flicked on, still not fully clear, headed up into the air. Now O'Dowda will fire home, but the timing for the goal as well, Jack, for Leeds' point of view, was pretty crucial because Bristol City were just starting to get that needle and drive forward through midfield, and just as they've got momentum might be strong, but once they've got a little bit of a hold in the game, Leeds have then scored a second. Yeah,
they were beginning to just rattle Leeds, make them feel uncomfortable, and I'm not saying that that's completely disappeared, but a 2-goal hurdle is much harder to get over than a 1-goal hurdle, especially against a side as good in possession as Leeds United. And I think that for Bristol City, they'll be disappointed that they didn't create more with the opportunities or half opportunities that they had prior to that goal. You know, they were breaking through, they were causing problems. We've seen Casilla make 1 save, 2 if you include the free kick. So I think that'll be the main disappointment for Bristol City, is that they've not created enough chances. They've looked decent in terms of on the ball, getting themselves forward in the final third. They've offered and then delivered very little. It's been a relatively comfortable game for the likes of Cooper and White, who've had next to nothing to do. And I think for Leeds now, for them, it's them that are on the ascendancy, it's them that are breaking forward, as they do once again.
Yeah, Harrison into clear, can he finish? He's going to open up his body, striked, it's smashed into the floor by Callas. Hernandez is going to pick up the pieces. Bamford stood there, now can Hernandez find space, he shoots, it's hit the feet of Taylor Moore, who's going to launch this into the stands on the far side, but Leeds are queuing up now, and it's a case of who's going to get the best strike on goal, as we've got a change coming for Bristol City. You always felt Cliff was going to strike that. It looked pretty obvious from where he was stood. He scored a belting goal against Sheffield Wednesday away last season from a very similar position, probably a bit deeper in fact. So he's never not going to go for goal. O'Dowda's come off, replaced. He's not really done much either. And Palmer's coming off as well, so Bristol City realising that they're well behind in this game. And a double change, which we'll confirm for you in a second or two. And Johnson looks back to his bench as he's made his call. He believes they're the area of weakness. 2 attacking midfielders, Eliasson for O'Dowda and Patterson for Palmer. Thoughts?
It's about as like for like as you can get, I suppose. Eliasson has got plenty of pace. Patterson will go and try and support Jeju. In fact, it looks like Vyman is the one who's going to go and support Jeju, so you'd assume you'd have Eliasson left, perhaps Patterson right. Actually, it looks like Patterson's gone left, so then you'd have Eliasson out on the right hand side, and maybe just as simple as 4-4-2 now. Wonderful pass that from right to left, and a nice little touch from Harrison as well, just to knock it in field. Leeds playing with so much freedom and style at the moment. and that is one man who sums that up is Hernandez as he plays it out to the left, and Leeds will just look to try and go forward. Douglas though caught on the ball, and Bristol City will come away.
Yeah, he's unlucky there. He's given a free kick away and just nothing but frustration as he brings down Eliasson. He was clipped on the back of the ankle. It's not really a foul, it's more of an accidental knock, and then because he was clipped, he sort of got a bit annoyed and just pulled him to the floor. But just noticing that Calvin Phillips has dropped an awful lot deeper than he has been the rest of the game. Wonder if Leeds have gone to the back three that they have been doing in pre-season. They've changed again, and it has like it's a 3 at the back. They play very high. It's like a 3-3. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. It's confusing. I've seen 2 different instances of it, and they go with 3 centre half, and they've got wing backs with another holding midfielder, and it's just carnage.
And then that one midfielder who just sits in behind the front 3, and I tell you, with the way that Marcelo Bielsa has his team playing, and I thought it a lot last season, he doesn't make many substitutions. So these players, their fitness level is so high, and especially in a 3-3-1-3, as it were, whoever is that one has a lot to do, and then it asks a lot of these players. Perhaps it's one of the attributing factors to the fall away at the end of last season, but if you can get the balance right and perhaps strengthen with a couple more players, to supplement these players, so that if we have injuries, if they have any issues with cards, anything like that, that it's not causing the sort of problems that perhaps it would if they were to lose Bamford, someone like that with Roof going. But this 3-3-1-3, as it were, just offers support at the back, and I wouldn't be surprised to see perhaps less movement out wide, perhaps more underlapping from the full-backs or the wing-backs, as they will be, and the wider players, the attacking players, Hernandez and Harrison, coming inside as well, try and overload in the middle rather than overload out wide.
Coaching masterclass, Jack Deaton. I love it. Cross comes in for the corner. Should have told me you were going to say all that. I'd have recorded it. You could have taken it to a seminar. No, I totally agree about the wing backs cutting in and going the other way rather than around the outside, underlapping, confusing everybody. But Phillips back there, just speak to Leeds fans, just keeps them calmer. Possibly the biggest turnaround in the last 10 years of a player's ability to be a young academy star that was just playing in midfield and getting too many fouls, having the odd shot and little baby face in midfield, and he seems to have grown into a man under Marcelo Bielsa. A new hairstyle, more responsibility, and at the minute Premier League clubs are sniffing around him, and you can see why. He just makes everything look as if he's a light year ahead. It's like he's already seen everything coming twice, and he can assess the best option, pick his pass. You do feel if Leeds don't get promoted and they do keep hold of him, this will be his last year. Pablo Hernandez was a couple of years. In fact, I still think Pablo Hernandez could do a job in the Premier League. It's still baffling he's in the Championship for creating the magic that he does. A few Bristol City players have got bright futures as well. This man, Dieu, was the man that was linked with a big money move as well. They've done some attacking here for the first time in a while. Eliasson, Douglas backing up, and Eliasson goes to the floor. I thought Eliasson just threw himself to the floor. I don't think Douglas pushed him.
There seemed to be the slightest bit of arms around him, I think, from Douglas. He wasn't letting him go at all. Does have his hands round him on his shoulders. Eliasson just feels the contact, goes down, wins the free kick. This is in a good position. I think Brownhill may well. I'd be surprised if he shoots from here, to be fair, when he's got the likes of Patterson and Callas out towards that back post. But Casilla just have to be wary. Eliasson may well step over this as a left-footed option, probably the better option from this position, just right of centre. But an opportunity perhaps to try and test either Casilla or the likes of Forshaw and Phillips, who've lined up against Jeju and Patterson out at the back post.
Yeah, looking behind, Casilla's waving his arms around. It's a very broken wall, this. In fact, it's one of the worst walls I've ever seen. White and Douglas are having to mark players. It's only a 2-man wall. I've never seen a wall like this. If Leeds concede from this, there should be some serious moaning going on as a defensive point of view. There's loads of players back though. It's really good work from Bristol City. Brownell's going to take it. It's going to fly just past the side netting, and it's 69 minutes in. It's the perfect time to hand over to Jack Deaton to take us through to full time. But Casilla's caught himself here down to his left hand side. He took a risk with the wall, pretty much put all responsibility on himself.
It's a good strike actually from Brownhill. Sort of goes over the top of the ball to create the top spin on it. Casilla in the end, I think, comfortably saw it wide. I was stood just aghast watching the players by the wall. Obviously, you have to now be as an attacking player, you can't interfere with the defensive wall, you have to be a certain amount away. And Bristol City were, I think, just looking to exploit that there with the way they were moving around, drifting in. The referee kept having to tell them, look, you need to step away. But regardless, the free kick went wide. So Bristol City 0, Leeds United 2 as we head towards the 70-minute mark. Bamford picking up the ball out on the right-hand side. He's looked very good at holding the ball up in this game so far. Used his body well, tried to bring others into play rather than trying to take it on himself. It has worked. It's just allowed his teammates to get involved. As Brownhill finds De Silva out on the left-hand side, midway inside his own half. He has to check it back for Moore. Lofts it forward, and White brings it down. Not the greatest of first touches, but he's got the time to be able to collect it and find Phillips, whose ball round the corner towards Hernandez. Asked a lot of the first goal scorer in this game. He's unable to keep it in play. We see a few glum faces around Ashton Gate. Don't worry, it's only the first game of the season. Lots can change. A lot can happen between now and the middle of May. As Patterson tries to bring the ball down. Last touch came off Patterson, though, out of play for a throw-in. As again, we just look at the shape. Phillips sat in between the two centre-halves, and you're completely right, Tom, what you were saying. He's so cool, so calm, collected. And he's one of these players who, there's nothing flash about him. He just brings the ball down, knocks it on for his teammate, and off they go. So a foul has actually been given against, I think it might have been given against Bamford. So Pack takes it quickly, and Bristol City will start again with Kalash. Middle of his half, plays it to his central defensive partner of Moore, who has to check backwards before finding Pack in the centre circle. He finds Moore, who will take it over halfway, just to the left of centre. De Silva's made an overlapping run. Hernandez has tracked it. The pass very, very obvious. And now Hernandez rolls it out to the right-hand side, and Dallas has got room to run into here. Moore is having to try and get back to track him, but Dallas has got Click on the edge of the area. It's Click that it's aimed at. It's Click who strikes. It's Harrison who gets there, and it's 3-0 to Leeds United. The shot from Click deflected up to Harrison, and with Bentley having dived to try and make the initial save, sprawling across his goal, Harrison able to get there and tap it home left-footed. Surely Leeds home and hosed. 72 minutes gone. Bristol City 0, Leeds United 3.
Just less than 20 minutes to go on the clock. Leeds United should have wrapped this game up. 3-0 they lead at Ashton Gate. Stuart Dallas breaking down the right-hand side on an absolute age to pick out Matthias Glick, who, when the shot came in, it was blocked by the defender Jack Hunt. But waiting in the wings was Jack Harrison, who volleyed the ball into the back of an empty net past David Bentley, who tried in vain to get to it in front of their travelling fans. Leeds have now scored 2 goals, and they lead by 3.
It's actually pretty fortunate the way that it falls. Click's shot would probably have been comfortably saved by Bentley. It wasn't in towards the corner or anything. Jack Harrison's first away goal since September 2018. And surely it has booked Leeds United their first 3 points of this new championship season. As things stand, Leeds would go top of the league as well, with the highest goal difference in the division. And we were saying earlier on at 1-0, it didn't feel secure. It didn't feel like it was comfortable really for the Whites. They were playing like it has been, I don't want to tempt fate here, Tom, but it's almost been the perfect performance from Leeds United.
Yeah, I'd say, going forward, in fact, White's got some defending to do here because he is unable to stop it from going out behind. I think the most impressive for me has been White, considering the issue he's had on him, with the pressure. It's his debut for the club in the league. But all the attacking players, the flair players, the Harrisons, the Bamford, Hernandez, the front three have got a goal. Maybe 10 more minutes, get Costa on, maybe put some extra legs on. But a clean sheet now is vital. Don't put any pressure on yourself.
Eliasson to take this corner from this near right-hand side, left-footed in swinging. The shot then comes in from Jeju. It was almost a flick really from him, able to volley it about level with the penalty spot. Helder Costa, that you were just referring to, Tom, is going to come on, the Leeds United number 17. Just getting a last few words of wisdom from the head coach, Marcelo Bielsa. It's Forshaw, knocks it out towards the right-hand side. Ben White did well there, just saw that Vyman had stepped into the penalty area, so refrained from playing the ball back to his goalkeeper. Leeds will start again on the right-hand side. Midway inside their own half, should I say. Dallas to take the throw-in. He's got Phillips, Click, Hernandez breaking away from the pack, and Hernandez volleying it first time and playing a wonderful ball into Bamford, who knocks it on for himself. Bamford trying to get into the penalty area, just runs behind him slightly. He's got Harrison in support, not now though. Finds Click, edge of the area, Click goes for goal. He had Forshaw to his left, he had Douglas to his left, he went for goal and played it well over the crossbar.
Should have passed, but I'll be honest, Bristol City, if they're not careful, could be 4 or 5 down here. They've already had 3 really good close efforts from the edge of the box. Forshaw's had 2 of them now. If they're not careful, they could well be 4 or 5 down. Which, to send a message out to you on the first weekend of the season, is not great. But Taz Click's coming off. The fans are delighted. They've got a song for him, of course. They'll have a song for every player. The squad's that small. They might as well. We can rehearse them. But Marcelo Bielsa's taking a risk again this year with a small squad, but Helder Costa's coming on. And Taz Click's had a cracking game. Yeah,
he seemed to be suggesting. Oh, the head coach seemed to be suggesting to Costa a 3, so it's whether that's a 3 up front. Hernandez stepping back into that midfield. Costa out on the right as a left footer as well, with Harrison out on the left as a right footer. The flick on, Maywell, an opportunity for Bristol City. Casilla did well to read the danger. Costa incidentally has gone out to the right hand side, a man who was so crucial to Wolves in their title winning season. Just being eased into it at the moment. Not a full pre-season at Leeds for him. Still plenty to do to fit into this Bielsa style of play. Here's Eliasson out on the right hand side. Little step over from him. Ball in towards the back post. A decent one. Jeju though unable to steer his header towards goal. It was blocked behind and out for a corner. And Bristol City at the moment, the side in the ascendancy, trailing by 3, but looking the much more dangerous. A good period of play for them. And it's right. It's a corner. Just came off the back of Stuart Dallas. So the corner to be taken right-footed in, swinging from Brownhill. Casilla tries to get there. Didn't seem to get anywhere near it. Did he get a touch on it? He did, according to the assistant out on this near side. Again, not the most convincing pieces of goalkeeping from Casilla. I mean, he did enough to offset the attackers, I suppose. Big blue and yellow cluster running towards them as Brownhill takes this throw in, long in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Cooper headers away, more or less to the exact same spot where the last throw in was taken. So Brownhill there again, in towards the same area. Cooper though doesn't get there. It's Forshaw who flicks it away. Now Eliasson inside the area, looking to get away from Douglas. Pulls it across and it's hooked away by Dallas on the edge of the 6-yard box, with Jeju sniffing around on the edge. Cooper is a man who's tried to go across there, about on halfway as Douglas is caught on the ball. Hernandez though calming it down, plays it back to Casilla, who will loft it away right-footed. But a good period of play from Bristol City. I suppose the ideal response to going 3-0 down.
It is. Leeds are just seem to be trying too hard to get Helder Costa on the ball. I've seen Douglas get caught out trying to find him. Hernandez try to get caught out finding him. It's just go through the gears. They're trying too many things here, Hernandez. They're running out of play. I think looking a little bit leggy at times. They've lost their way a little bit formation-wise.
Here's Vyman cutting in from the right-hand side. Gets into the area. Vyman shot finds the bottom corner. Casilla unable to get there. Went through a cluster of bodies, and Bristol City's good period of play rewards them with a goal. The gap now down to 2. Is that game on? Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3.
After a couple of panicky minutes for Leeds United, they've now conceded. It's Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. And nervous times at the back for the Whites. He just continue to make the same mistakes, giving the ball away, making silly passes rather than going. So he's run in towards goal and he's beaten Douglas, Cooper and more importantly Casilla at the near post. 2 goals in it. It's 1-3 to Leeds United.
It's Vyman's 5th goal in his last 10 appearances as Leeds respond with a substitution. Gianni Alioski, the man brought on. Barry Douglas, the man that he will replace. As Bristol City make a change. Famara Jeju is being replaced. The assumption would be Matty Taylor, the man coming on, and that is who has replaced him. Is it game on all of a sudden? We saw a 3-3 draw on Friday night between Middlesbrough and Luton. I don't want to say we're heading towards the same thing here, but Leeds United have got to be careful as Casilla gives it away to Eliasson here out on the right hand side, crossing position for him, decent delivery, and Taylor brings it down on his chest. Phillips able to hook it away almost at chest height, booting the ball away right footed. Alioski's header, which is his first touch, not the most convincing, before Harrison just knocks it off Jack Hunt and out of play for a throw in to Leeds United out on this left hand side. 10 minutes to go, Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Nervy moments for Leeds United. Tom Hill.
They're seemingly blaming, the camera crew are seemingly blaming Casilla for that. I mean, I know it's hit his near post, but it took a deflection for a start. But more importantly, Hernandez should have done better, Harrison should have done better. They're just panicking at the minute. They need to get the ball down the run of the pitch for just 10 seconds, anything, as Phillips gives a free kick around the edge of the box. But it's just a constant barrage, this, and it's come from absolutely nowhere. Fair play to Bristol City.
Yeah, Patterson, the man who was caught, just nipped it away from Phillips, who stuck an outstretched leg out. Because Patterson couldn't keep his balance, he went to ground, and this is in a good position, only a couple of yards away from the edge of the penalty area, just to the left of the D. This is a big opportunity if they can take it with 9 minutes left. Casilla just looking to line his wall up at the moment. This is a more convincing wall, shall we say, from Leeds United. 5 men in it, already creeping over the white line that has been put down by the referee. It's going to come in right footed. It's over the top though. Casilla jumping across. It was comfortably over, I suppose, in the end. Casilla happy to watch it over. Patterson it was with the drive. Never looked like troubling Casilla.
No, it
really
wasn't the worst though, was it? I've seen a lot worse. That's Patterson's first effort, isn't it? So as a feeling out free kick, it's a decent one, but they don't need that. You know, they need to put 3-2. It's all panic stations. Leeds just need a 3 or 4 minute spell where they just get back on top. And last 10 minutes, 56% of the game has been in Leeds' half or Leeds' third. That's not the case of the game, but this shouldn't be. Matthias Click goes off and Leeds fall apart. It's currently what's happening though.
Here's Taylor, the substitute, rolls it out to the right hand side, and Eliasson, who's one-on-one now against Alioski on this Bristol City right, cuts in field left footed, decent delivery, the header then comes in onto the roof of the net from Andreas Weimann. Did well to get himself free. Bristol City turning the screw well and truly. Decent delivery in. White, the man who couldn't get near it, perhaps him jumping in did enough just to offset Weimann. I think he'll be disappointed in the end. It comes off his shoulder and goes over the top. It's just looking more and more nervy for Leeds, looking like the Leeds that we saw at the end of last season in quite a few of their games as they went in towards the final stages. As we're heading towards the final stages of this game. 7 minutes to go. Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Independent Off-Tube Studio commentary as Taylor Moore rolls it back to Daniel Bentley. Last time he touched the ball was to pick it out of the back of his net, and Leeds bagged that third goal. Bentley will loft it away right footed. Alioski rises to try and get there. Does he get a touch on it? Yes, he does, according to the assistant on this near side. Bristol City constantly looking to start the game off as quickly as they can. Here's Hunt through the legs of Phillips into Patterson, who will break towards the penalty area, trying to shift it onto his left foot. Cooper does well just to get a foot in it, and then the attempted clearance from Forshaw ricochets off Cooper. Alioski will then header it away to Harrison, who's caught on the ball himself. Bristol City just crowding around Leeds United every time they try and get on the ball. They win it back. Where is this Bristol City play been all game? They're causing Leeds all sorts of problems. They are on the ball here just inside their own half, Bristol City. In the end, they have to go back to Bentley, but Leeds looking completely rattled in the closing stages of this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Have Leeds collapsed or Bristol City doing more? And it's the old cliche in football, isn't it? When things are going your way, you win those second balls. When things are going your way, you find a bit more joy. Alioski's won a free kick That's why he's been brought onto the pitch. He's a master at trying to defuse the game. And Aliasson's it's quite amusing that he won a free kick earlier because Douglas touched him. He's just touched Alioski, who's fallen to the floor on purpose, just like he did, and it's an outrage. That's the difference in this game. They're now very, very pumped up and excited, Bristol City. This is what they need to be. One of the Leeds bench has been yellow carded here, which is a bit dramatic. Leif Davis, by the way, is getting stripped off and ready to go. I'm not sure who it'll be for. Perhaps Harrison. Davis will probably go left back, and it would mean Alioski goes left mid, but Harrison is the man that stood right next to him, and that'll be the change.
Yeah, Davis, the sort of a natural left back, you'd assume will slot into the left back position. Alioski will step further forward. It's been a good game from Jack Harrison, a player that's gained a lot of plaudits over pre-season. He definitely took it into this game in the opening 75 minutes or so, but no Leeds United player has covered themselves in much glory in the last 10 minutes or so, as Bamford is penalised for a push on Kalash. So Bristol City will begin with a free kick here, level with the edge of the centre circle. Kalash steps up right-footed to loft it out towards Matty Taylor, who doesn't win his 50-50 with Dallas. Costa then wins a free kick, just caught ever so slightly by the City substitute Taylor. Just over 4 minutes to go. Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Leeds, who were comfortable for 75 minutes, just been pegged back over the last 10. As Kiko Casilla takes as long as he possibly can to take this free kick. Midway inside his own half, right-footed, lofts it straight down the middle, aiming towards Costa, over the top of him as Phillips then wins the second ball. Forshaw does well to spin away from the initial challenge, the second one not so much.
Forshaw's asking for a free kick when the game's still going on. He needs to. You've lost the ball. Deal with it. I understand what he's trying to say. He probably thought it was foul, but you can't expect the referee to give you the ball. Just because he's not going your way, you can't stop. You're a centre midfielder, and you've got to go with the ball as Bristol City win a corner. Yeah,
Patterson working up against Dallas, just tees it off the Northern Irishman. As the Bristol City fans begin to get a bit excited, maybe they can feel something really special is going to come here. Corner will be taken right-footed from that far left-hand side. Right-hand aloft. In comes the cross in towards the centre of the 6-yard box, and that's a brilliant take from Casilla, who goes down holding his face here. There seemed to be a little bit of afters, I think, as Casilla came down. Andy Vyman's claiming something here. He's claiming that there was some sort of infringement. The referee is going across to have a chat with Kiko Casilla. It's going to be Matty Taylor who's called across, and Matty Taylor's got into the referee's notebook. There was a slight bit of afters, I think, nothing more than that. So we see a replay. Casilla goes up. It's a good claim from the goalkeeper. And yeah, Taylor just leaves his knee in and does catch Casilla and then sort of gives him a kick. And I think the kick wasn't intentional, but he did seem to leave his leg in on the goalkeeper.
I think it's just smart goalkeeping. They're under pressure. He wants someone to do that to him so he can waste a minute, which he did. I don't think it's worth a card.
Throw in then for Leeds United out on the right-hand side. The sun's just come out in Bristol, so Dallas is struggling to see an option. I mean, there isn't really one for him. Instead, he throws it down the line, aiming towards Bamford. Pack able to get there. Then Moore hooks it away as White goes down off the ball. A little bit of a tussle with Vyman. Phillips will then hook it away right-footed. Bamford will try and chase this here, and he'll do well to get there ahead of the defender. It does come off Moore. It's going to be a corner for Leeds United. And surely they'll look to play this short and just wind the clock down.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great play from Bamford. I think he's done that so well all game. Calvin Phillips' passes from those sort of range are like missiles, aren't they? They're like little exorcist ones. He just pings it and it goes exactly where he wants it to. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. Cooper's coming up. Difficult because Bristol City have only got one thing on their mind, haven't they? But they're coming up for it. White's coming.
Yeah, White up there, Cooper, Bamford. That's about it, really, in terms of attacking options inside that penalty area. Alioski's just hanging around. He is now going into the area as Costa's corner is terrible. Headed away by loops the ball over the top. and get there, but Costa's header has gone out for a goal kick, despite Bentley trying to restart play by rolling the ball out. So Bentley will have to start again. We're into the final minute here. Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Surely it's too late for a full Bristol City revival. Just getting glared at from my co-worker beside me. As Bristol City win the ball back inside the centre circle. Here's Patterson getting away from Phillips. Patterson aiming to get into the penalty area here. White does well, just stands his ground. And Patterson looking to check it through the legs of the on-loan Brighton man. Lovely little passing play from Leeds United around their own penalty area, and the end White just hooks it away.
Brilliant.
And Bamford's little flick will allow Costa to try and break forward here. Fresh pair of legs up against De Silva. Costa gets into the area, tries to check it away, but just
balance.
Yeah, De Silva did really well just to knock him off balance. Dallas goes for it once, ball rebounds back to him. His volley then goes over the bar as we creep into 5 added on at the end of this game.
Yeah, great work. I still think Ben White could be my man of the match. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. He's not done anything wrong. I don't think he's done anything wrong, Ben White. He had the audacity alongside his teammates down that right side with Forshaw. He can't be forgotten about there. Douglas Costa's his pace. Good work from Leeds. A little lesson to be learnt for them, of course, if they do hold on here, about the dangers of the Championship, and they'll know about it for last year, but it's very fresh in their mind, isn't it, that they were absolutely cruising. Perhaps in reverse mode when they were almost at 3-0 up, and then it was back to 3-1. And if you're a Bristol City fan, I'll tell you what, it's a case of what could have been. If you could have done this at the start of the second half, this game could have been an awful lot closer. Potential's there for them, it really is. Yeah,
plenty of positives for Bristol City, despite the current scoreline, as Alioski looking to break into the area, couldn't quite gather it properly, really. Seemed to be stumbling from one foot to the other. In the end, it fell to Hernandez, whose little dink ball in towards the penalty area isn't great. Headed back to the Bristol City goalkeeper, Bentley. And then Kalash will loft it forward. Brought down by Taylor. Patterson then rises the challenge of Cooper and Hernandez, who just gets a little word from the referee as play continues with Patterson out on the left-hand side. He will float the ball, aiming in towards the middle. Great header away from Cooper, who read the danger and managed to snuff it out. Here's Eliasson. Leeds Davis with his first touch, able to win the ball back. Hernandez then prods it into Alioski, who returns it back to Hernandez, who only just got off the floor. Before Davis's attempted pass down the left isn't a very good one. Bielsa on his feet, barking orders at his side.
At Davis for making a mistake. He's sloppy from Hernandez again in defence. That's twice he could cost them here, Jack.
As Bristol City come forward once again, floated ball in, and the header comes in, and Casilla came a long way. I think clattered into his own defender. It might be Cooper who's down, and it is. Cooper perhaps just looking to try and tick the clock down. He does have a tendency to do this, Liam Cooper, but it didn't seem to be that much contact as Casilla came out. Once again, Casilla coming, getting nowhere near it. But Cooper is down, laid face down here, getting some medical attention, and I think whatever happens, we're going to see another minute, maybe 90 seconds added on here, onto the already 5 minutes. As Casilla just engaging in conversation with his teammates. There's been a few nervy moments from Kiko Casilla today. Perhaps the earlier one where he went charging out to about 25 yards out, he did the right thing, but his ability to come from crosses and corners has been called into question. He's been unable to look particularly convincing. As Cooper now on his haunches, on all fours. Leeds, of course, have one substitute still to make. Oh no, they don't. They've made all 3. Apologies. Pablo Hernandez has been given the man of the match. A goal and assist. 4 chances created by the tricky Spaniard, perhaps coming into the twilight of his career, but he continues to be a shining light for Leeds United. As Cooper is up on his feet. He's going to get himself off the pitch now. Probably down for well over a minute. as we're into the final minute of added on time here. 94.5 minutes on the clock. Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Day one for both of these sides in their 2019-2020 season. Casillas' long ball forward will be headed away. It may well fall here for Taylor, who's battling with Phillips. Taylor gets the better, but then Leif Davis does really well getting back. Bristol City claiming a back pass, but it wasn't an intentional pass from Davis. He just got there to stick his foot out. So Casillas will start the play again, lofting it forward, aiming towards Costa, whose little touch took it away from the defender, but didn't find Bamford. Now Pack has it inside the centre circle. Lofted ball out towards the right to Eliasson, who's looked nippy since coming on, but his touch just letting him down on that occasion. So the play will start again, and I think Bielsa and Leeds United will be relatively happy with what they've done on the opening day for them this season.
You know, if you'd have taken the scoreline, it's one of those. It's always good after, a bit of an afterthought. But if you'd have taken this scoreline, Jack, beforehand, of what it meant to Leeds, you know, a 3-1. Yes, a clean sheet's ideal, but 3 points, 3 goals, 3 forward players scoring. So far, no injuries at the minute. And let's hope they can, of course, come through that. Like Bristol City, you don't want to see anybody going off with an injury the next few seconds or so.
Cleared away by Alioski. Bristol City will look to come forward now with Moore, who's 30 yards from goal. The centre half goes for goal, deflected. It's going to be a corner. I think the referee is going to allow this corner to happen. So perhaps one last chance for Bristol City. Leeds will go at least joint top as things stand. We're into the 96th minute at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Corner lofted in, aiming towards the back post. Jack Hunt got there almost with the back of his head. He's gone out for a goal kick. And perhaps the final kick, the final seconds of this opening clash between these two. Bristol City 1, Leeds United 3. Marcelo Bielsa pacing up and down his technical area, desperate for his side to get their first 3 points of the season.
Right, so that's the end of the game. It finished 3-1 to Leeds. If there is any new people to the channel here and want to see more Leeds United and Bristol City live streams, subscribe to the channel. And because on not this Tuesday coming up, but the following Tuesday, when the EFL Cup games are being played, I will do Salford City versus Leeds United live commentary. So if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button so you can find my stream easily when I do that. I'll also be doing loads more championship streams, loads more Leeds United games, and loads more Bristol City games in the next few months coming up. So if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button. We have 60 people in here at the moment, and I can guarantee half of you aren't subscribed. So if at least 10 of you could subscribe now, that would be great. Before we end the stream, we are going to look at the stats for the game, see how well each side did. So the stats: Leeds having 59% possession, Bristol City having 41 shots. Leeds had 18 shots, Bristol City had 13. Leeds having 4 on target, Bristol City having 3 on target, and then corners, Leeds had 6, Bristol City having 4. And what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the league table. So we're going to look at the championship table. We've got one more game tomorrow, Huddersfield versus Derby, which I'll also be doing a live commentary for. So if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be doing Huddersfield versus Derby tomorrow night. And then we're going to be doing Birmingham v Portsmouth the following day. So if there's any Birmingham or Portsmouth fans, just subscribe to see that. But after that win, Leeds go top of the league. They won 3-1, so they are top of the league on alphabetical order, because Sheffield Wednesday also won 3-1. And as for Bristol City, they are 23rd on alphabetical order as well. So it is only the first game, so I'm pretty sure Bristol City, Preston, Fulham, Brentford, Stoke, Nottingham Forest, pretty much loads of these teams that lost will move up the league as the league goes on, because I can't see half of these teams staying where they are at the moment. But at the moment, Leeds winning the league. Next week, Leeds have Nottingham Forest at 12:30. Unfortunately, won't be able to do live commentary for that because I'm doing West Ham versus Man City at that time. But I will do Leeds versus Salford on the Tuesday. And then we've got Bristol City playing Birmingham, so that'll be a tough game. Birmingham beating Brentford yesterday. And then on Friday we have Huddersfield v Fulham. I may do this game depending if there's any Premier League games on that Friday. And then same with Reading versus Cardiff, depending if there's any decent games on at that time. And then Tuesday, this is the games we're going to do. So Bristol City versus Derby is most likely the game we're going to do. So if there's any Bristol City fans or Derby fans in here, that's the game we may do. So Tuesday 20th of August, we'll probably do that for commentary. And then the following day, we have Leeds v Brentford, which is also what we may do, because that's going to be a decent game. The game that I predicted would be the playoff final this season before the season started. So looking at this, may do Swansea Birmingham, may do Cardiff Fulham. So we'll probably do one more Bristol City game this month and two more Leeds games this month. But we are 8 subscribers off 1,300 subscribers, and we have 40 people in here. So if you aren't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, because let's go on Leeds quickly. No, I can't do that. But if we go on Leeds, we've got on their fixtures. Tuesday 13th of August, Salford City versus Leeds United is live commentary I'll be doing. So if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button. And then Leeds versus Brentford on Wednesday 21st of August is another commentary I'll be doing as well. And as for Bristol, I lost my voice. As for Bristol City, we will most likely do Derby County versus Bristol City on Tuesday 20th of August. So if you could subscribe if you want to see commentaries for that, that would be great. Let's see our sub count. So we are 8 subscribers away. There's 33 people in here, and I can guarantee half of you aren't subscribed. So if you could subscribe, that would be great. Don't know what to do now. We won't be using that for the rest of the day, so we'll get rid of that. We'll look at September Championship fixtures. So Friday 13th September potentially could do Derby v Cardiff. And then on the Sunday we have Barnsley v Leeds. We could do that as well. So Leeds v Barnsley if you want to see that. Then we got Leeds v Derby the following week. Depending if there's Premier League games on at these times, I could be doing these games. Then we have West Brom Huddersfield, could do that. Friday we have 2 games here. I don't know which one I'll be able to do. Probably Stoke Nottingham Forest. And then doesn't look like I'll be able to do any Bristol City in September. There's midweek games here. Could do Leeds v West Brom. So 1st of October if you want to see that, Leeds fans. And then Brentford versus Bristol City on the Wednesday. So we could do that as well. Depending what commentary it allows me to stream is what I'll do. I say I didn't need that app. I actually need to go on it quickly to see if it allows me to do Birmingham, Portsmouth on Tuesday. I'll quickly do that and then we're probably going to end the stream. Alright, let's make this 120. No, 110. If we want, is it EFL Cup? Alright, at the moment it's not saying I can do commentary, but I will try and find someone else to do commentary for that game. I'm sure I'll find some kind of commentary for that. For Tuesday, I'll try and sort that out. There's quite a lot of games here. It's not showing up commentary for any of these yet, because that's in like over a week. But if we go on... If we go on Championship, go on Huddersfield Derby. We have the commentary thing here, which is the sound button. If I can find that, then it shows us what commentaries we can do. It's only showing them two at the moment. I think it'll refresh next week. But I'll get a Birmingham, Portsmouth commentary sorted for them. But I'm going to end the stream now. There's 10 people in here. I'm guessing most of them are subscribed. If not, just subscribe.